Doc, let's. I had a guest here last week. I'm sure you've seen the video. The interview has gone viral. Former SGF, Babachir Lawal, he was here, and he said some very serious stuff, both pre the Buhari era, the merger of the APC, the Buhari ascension to power, the role President Tinubu played, and then how Tinubu got the ticket of the APC last election. Buhari did not support him. He said a lot, quite a lot. I want us to discuss a few of some of this. Number one is the education sector. Babachir narrated how he got scholarship from the northern governor.
Yeah.
Northern governor.
He just sent his name.
Exactly.
He just sent his name. He didn't even know.
He didn't know.
He didn't apply.
He didn't apply. They found him to be academically sound. He just got a letter and they called him to Maiduguri. They asked him, what's your name, whatever, and they gave him the scholarship.
They gave him transport money to come back to ABU.
And then he said he was getting that money, 14 naira or so, every month without fail. He was even able to buy a car. And guess what, sir? What he didn't say in that interview, what he told me privately, he made a first class in electrical engineering. The bachelor made a first class in electrical. Sir, compare this to the system now that has broken down completely, where scholarship awards has fallen to the Nigerian standard, where everything is who do you know and all of that. But particularly, compare it to the students' loan scheme, sir. Are we producing the workforce of the future for Nigeria, sir?
I must commend B.D. Lawal. Viewers, please look for that interview. It's a treasurable, it's an interview of treasure. Wow. I watched it twice. I've never, B.D. appears a bit. I'm not abusing. It appears dense, but it's a lot of intellect behind what you are saying. He says so many things. I like the man to be my friend. All of it is so sincere from the heart. So he gave us so many anecdotes about what happened over the year. We cannot replicate it because at that time, there are only 4 universities, Ibadan, Ife, Nsukka, and ABU. But it's an ideal we have to aspire towards. We cannot get it 100%. Everything that B.D. Lawal said resonates with me.
Exactly. You're of the same age, actually. 71, 72, both of you.
So, and first class on electrical engineering. I haven't thought it was just I never knew.
First class electrical engineering, sir. First class from ABU.
He's somebody, and if you trace his relation with Buhari and everything, he's saying the correct thing. This is the voice of reason, B.D. Lawal. It's a voice of reason. All Nigerians should listen to that speech on your channel. This channel has done a great service by bringing me on and was able to express his heartfelt opinion about Buhari. If somebody who have seen the president now, when the president was in underpants.
Absolutely.
So it's not that the president is commander-in-chief no. He saw the president when he was down to earth.
Absolutely.
And he was a friend to the president. President says B.D. Lawal is also his friend. Buhari confirmed it. So how you can fall out with such a man? If our President Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu is a means, a sign that I need to. How can I lose a friend like B.D. Lawal? I shouldn't lose a friend like B.D. Lawal. He's a good man. You can't take all his saying. No human being is perfect.
Absolutely.
But I would like to call B.D. Lawal my friend. Whatever it would take for me to retain him as my friend, I will think twice about what made me to disagree with him. I will find accommodation with him. That's when I know I'll be on the right track. The voice of human being, the voice of God. B.D. Lawal is a good man. And I wouldn't like to alienate him if I'm in any position. And he's been with the president from when he was machinating, they are strategizing, they are doing all kinds of things. So I'll give B.D. Lawal his own due to make him still remain in my corner. The more people like that in anybody's corner, the more that you might be doing good for the greatest number of people. That's what I think. I will not be friend of other people who are just say, Mr.
Charlatans.
President, Commander-in-Chief,
Psychopaths.
Commander. No, I will not. Bidi Lawal came as a good man to me. Honestly, I appreciate him.
For the sake of time, Doctor, two quick issues from Bidi Lawal's interview. He also talked about 2027 elections. He said in his own mind, though, from what he knows, the totality of what he knows, he believes the results probably has been written, and they're just playing a script towards a predetermined outcome. That, of course, Nigerians, everybody will make. There will be hue and cry here. They will go to their courts. In his own words, SAN will collect big, billions. After Nigeria will make noise, and then that will be the end of it. Do you think so, sir? He even talked about third term, that if President Tinubu has good health, the only thing that you said, if it's only that, more or less both of you are saying the same thing. Do you share the same sentiments?
They try to say results are written. Same way of saying Nigeria is under the grip of APC party people. They have what is called structure. And the structure will deliver votes or whatever number. In any polling booth, other parties cannot have agents across. Only APC can afford to have an agent in a particular polling booth, in a particular collation center. So if I'm a APC member and I know I want to deliver my area to Mr. President, I will deliver my area now. So the numbers of last election is already written out. You got 20,000 votes in this polling booth. I'm APC stalwart. I will deliver the number. You don't need to be said. Tinubu doesn't need to say anything. The APC stalwarts have captured Nigeria in the neck. 31 governors have captured Nigeria in the neck.
In fact, he referenced those governors. That the reason why is because, number one, he has denied, President Tinubu, by capturing those governors, has denied opposition funding from those governors.
Look, 7,000 words or so.
Exactly. 8,012.
I can afford to give 50,000 each to a polling agent representing APC. Other parties, they cannot be in more than maybe 200. They don't have the money to fund it. So if I'm the campaign coordinator for Osun State for APC, I will just stay in Osogbo. In the morning of election or day before, I've given you all 50,000. I want resource sheets from your polling booth or whatever. Is it not true? That's how it is. While the other people are asking for donations of 1,000, 2,000 for transport, they have
a war chest.
A war chest. It's only fair. This is the predetermined results. Unless the system is dismantled, cancel APC privilege, which was acquired by all machinations. I say, President, please give up this power that you have. It's only an appeal. It's not, nobody can fault you. You have won. Bidi Lawal is saying so too. He's saying maybe character talk. Na character we go chop. We're not going to eat character of Peter Obi or anything. We're not going to eat it at all. So, good feeling. Conscience is not going to compete with being an outlaw in the system now. So that's why I've been saying this channel now that election is won, 2031 is even won too. If we are going to 2036 is also won. Whoever Tinubu nominates will win too. Once you have structure, structure is command and control. And if you don't deliver, you are dealt with. So it's not voluntary. It's not voluntary. So with the military blanket over the country too, the structure is there, and it's command and control from Abuja. So it's not saying anything novel, but we don't want that. We want this nation for our children and grandchildren. We want to really have democracy where we rejoice. We are so happy that we have people governing us by consent, not by coercion, not by force. For now, we are just marooned.
Sir, as we begin to wind down, what are the biggest threats to the elections next year, the biggest threats that you see? I know you've said a lot, but narrow it down to specifics. What are the 3 or so biggest, dangers, red signs that you see as we come down to election day? For not just democracy now, the survival of this country itself. Many are saying that this election may be Nigeria's last chance.
There is no credible opposition. There is no alternative presentation of a governance model to run the country.
Ideas.
So the opposition leaders are under threat with the courts, with registration, with qualification. They cannot even have the rest of mind to articulate whether they have a better view, better alternative to subsidy gun. They will not be able to have, they are not sure whether they'll be on ballot. That's a threat. If you don't have opposition, that's not, you are going to have 95% result. And if you do election today, APC will score 95% of the votes. It will. And it's so bad that even Nigerian Bar Association could not do election. The most gifted, the most educated, the most blessed group of Nigerians. The rigging culture is still penetrating all levels of our being. That's why we need to really see something is wrong with us. Nigerian Bar Association could not do an election. They could not, without allegation of rigging. Whether the fact that you even allege that there is rigging.
Absolutely.
It's a big problem.
Absolutely. A body of less than maybe 50,000 people.
No, there are about 82,000 that qualified. People. But these are the most educated.
Doctor, not the most educated. Well, they like to claim that they are learned. They are not learned anything.
They are now the worst miseducated. They are actually worse than illiterate. Because when you think you are educated and you don't know anything.
You should show your behavior, your character, and your conduct.
But the opposite means you are not educated at all. You don't have decorum. You don't have respect for each other. When I cheat you, means I don't respect you as equal to myself. But if we're equal, we will speak, we will listen, we will hear. Your ideas are better than mine. I will concede to you. But it's now based on might is right. And the new president quickly ran to Villa to go and pay courtesy call. It's even wrong on our part. You know your position is still disputed. You are not sworn in. You are going to get presidential handshake. She's wrong on that count too. She ought to wait and let the dust settle down and let her be sworn in properly before she's going to call Mr. President. What is she doing? She's using her sister's influence on the president. That is wrong. That's still rigging. Is it not? You are not being sworn in. Your position is still disputed. You ran to shake the hand of Mr. President in Abuja. That's wrong. Second point is that the understanding of Nigeria, there be north, south. Okay, Atiku is pointed saying he doesn't want it. It's a mean that it will split Nigeria north, south. If there's a national consensus that we are going this way, somebody in the stature of Atiku is saying, no, he doesn't agree with it. And he has his own following too. If it's just 1/4 of the population, is separating himself from the consensus of the country. That's still a negative point, is it not? So those two things, no opposition, article faction of the Nigerian polity, then no decorum in the elections. Election will come and go. Somebody will be declared a winner, whether by only, last time, Mr. President got 12 million votes.
No, he got 8.1 or so million votes. 8.9 million votes.
Out of
27 or 25.
No, out
25.
Of the
exactly.
Annex
90 million votes, voters registered.
So less than 10% is giving you the mandate to run the country. Other society must score 51% of the votes. Otherwise, there will be a rerun. So the mandate that is secured by only 10% of the registered voters.
Not even the larger population.
Is it legitimate?
Doc, I was surprised you mentioned the militarization of our elections, because even INEC chairman, Professor George Hamkuta, came out and said he doesn't want the military supervising election. The military should stay in their barracks. That he only wants, at best, or in worst cases, just policemen who are not even bearing arms and all of those. So I'm surprised you didn't speak, because what are we saying playing out in Osun State now that we spoke extensively on earlier?
No, I've said so. When you have 12 new divisions created in the world, you want blanket envelope of military, so that response somebody making trouble in Ilesha from Oshogbo, soldiers are there to quell the riot. And that is it now. I've already answered it that instead of going policing, we are going military. What's the military for? They will release money in the next couple of months for the military to fill all those 12 divisions. There will be no money for the police. They will use military truck to survive. So that it is. Yeah, I've implied it.
Okay, sir, Doc, I want you to comment on this. There's this scandal. This government has so many scandals, but we talked about the chief of staff. Look at Minister Dave Umahi, Engineer Dave Umahi, Minister for Works. You know, there's a lady, whether she's a nurse or a physiotherapist, that she died in his home. Questions are being asked, why? What was the lady doing in your home? Then he says, oh, they've known way back. The lady died. The parents, the police and so are saying, let us do an autopsy. Oh, the parents quickly came and did an affidavit. The friend who were together. Sir, what's going on, sir?
Well, all these things are still symptoms.
Sorry, sir. In fact, why I brought it up is that the people of the Kaduna State, where the lady comes, Sokapu, where they come from, Sokapu came out to demand and insist that there must be autopsy and all of those. The police must. Now, that the minister called the president of Sokapu to threaten and intimidate him.
I agree with you. All these are symptoms of immorality. The minister ought to have stepped aside, but he didn't step aside. Femi Gbajamila ought to have stepped aside. Not that you are guilty, but the system is losing, if it has not lost, its moral soul. And these are all, I cited so many instances. Nigerian Waste Probe, Alibotin Probe, Siemens Probe, so many things. Bags of money was laid in National Assembly during Obasanjo's third term. They said they put money to bribe legislators. We all wish it away. You can have many nails on the coffin of Nigeria. Each one very important. So it's just symptoms. The moment we decide to govern under rule of law, equality before the law, the police doesn't need the DPO in Abakaleke. A charge of murder is on the table. The DPO has to invite all. In the US, if something happened, the husband is first suspect. You understand? You invite anybody who has remote. But now but the DPO cannot act. The police commissioner cannot act. The minister is talking tough because he's the point man. He has paid his dues to the president. He defended the Lagos Calabar with his life. So to sacrifice him is difficult. Symptom.